Alright class, this is finals week. Here we are, done. By the way, it's kind of sunny here, but I'm a little bit freezing. I just got done from the cafe, and I thought I would just do my last announcement here though in this beautiful park, Mount Scott Park. I've graded a good chunk of your opinions on the Neil Ferguson video, and I really have enjoyed the thought that many of you put into your papers. And I'm a little bit of a loss for words too. I think we're all burned out, but again, I've really enjoyed seeing so many of you grow in knowledge and find the subject, all the subjects that we've learned so interesting. And I just want to reiterate how important I think that history is right now more than ever. And I mention this a lot also with my, actually at this point all of my classes, just to say, we're in a very critical time period. And perhaps in history, every time period is a critical time period, actually. I don't believe in the good old days, but I believe that each time period has its own unique set of problems and benefits, depending on where you live. We are definitely seeing so many of the things that we've covered in Western Civ 104 coming to a head here now in the 21st century. You know, it's kind of a bummer for me. So I ironically put on this shirt. Some love the band, some hate the band. The Smiths. And this guy right here is Morrissey, the lead singer, still playing music. And it's been one of my favorite bands. I've loved Morrissey for a long time. But his political views have been... He's been revealing himself to be very far from my own political views. And I just read today, like a few days ago, he endorsed a far right-wing party that's accused of being fascist in Britain, called For Britain, the name of the party. And part of that, I mean, that party basically sees Islam as evil, and he is a major animal rights activist. And so he sees basically the ritual slaughter of animals for eating in Islam and kosher meat issue for Jews as a kind of evil thing. And so that his view on animal rights is now kind of solidifying his view more so even against the way that certain people can be treated. And this has a trend back. I mean, Hitler was a vegetarian, and I don't think that there's any link between vegetarianism and any political point of view. But the far right has been very much in the pro-animal rights, believe it or not. There was a French Greek woman named Savitri Devi who converted to Hinduism. She felt that Hitler was the avatar of Vishnu, one of the Hindu gods. And she basically believed in a militant form of animal rights. And so that kind of idea has also crept in. And what's actually happening, just like with the love of Vikings or European culture, the far right is latching on to so many different things. And perhaps even other political groups. On the left, it's a little different. But identity politics are up on both sides. And the legacy of the West and what we are ourselves is now becoming really highly put into question, to where even our music, our art, our actors and actresses, it's like we're all being drawn in to this existential crisis of what we are, what we should be, and where our priorities should be at. What to do about refugees, about race, about class, gender, everything. So the last thing I'm going to say is that I really feel that as people get ideological, they make up a lot of stuff, but we have historical precedents to look at. We have a past that we can work with, that we can reflect upon. And hopefully it can guide us to grounding ourselves a little more sanely, a little more humanely, to really pushing ourselves forward into a better world for all species, the planet, everyone. So that's just my thoughts on this. I look forward to reading your last thoughts on the final. And if you think you have enough points, you don't have to take the final. I mean, if you're not going to take the final, I just want you to write to me in the final, say, Professor Pollack, I'm not taking the final. I'll give you a 0, and you'll get the grade you have. But as I mentioned, I believe I posted an announcement, I don't do the math. So this is something that if you want to do, you just write to me and say, I'm not taking the final, I put a 0, and give you the good grade, right, that you already have. In any case, I will try to be available if any of you need me this week as we finish up. Have a great rest of your Sunday, and we'll be in touch maybe one last time if you communicate with me before the end. It's been a hard-working semester, been a great semester. You guys are great, and I wish you the best on moving forward in your academic lives and your lives beyond that.